Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to the Ripple Effect server where we are soaring through the skies in a far land away. Not at the island for once. I mean, we did build the 4-in-1 store not that long ago, but it's good to get away from the island every now and again, I think, so I don't go completely stir crazy stuck on that piece of land. The main reason we are over here is to do something with, am I going to be able to see one? Probably not. A squid, or several squids. not a single squid, that would be a very poor farm. We're going to build a squid farm today. I'm not too sure how it's going to go. I've never actually built one before. I'm going to take this off though because I'm scared a creeper's going to come up behind me when I'm talking. I've never built one before. I'm going to use Il Mango's design, and hopefully it'll work well. I've picked this piece of water here because there isn't too much, you know, other water around. There's a savannah. Well, I thought we were in a savannah. We are not. I lied. There's a desert and a savannah, so there's not much water around, so hopefully the clearing job shouldn't be too bad. But I think I'm going to go ahead and actually just build this all because I have got other plans to do with stuff related to dyes. It's probably given away in the title. I mean, the idea in my head isn't exactly at all formed at the moment. I just have a very loose idea of what I want to do with today's episode, and that starts off with a squid farm. Excuse me, Mr. Squids, you're not supposed to be over there. You're in the wrong place. You're meant to be in here, falling to your death through all the sugarcane. Yeah, I have a new hatred towards sugarcane. At least, well, not when it comes to placing it, more so when it comes to accidentally breaking it with a pick, and, you know, knocking down a, like 40 high sugarcane stalk. Yeah, happened a couple of times, made it take a little bit longer, but the farm is all up and running now. Obviously, we do have to, you know, get rid of all the other water around in the area, which I'm going to need to go raid a ocean monument to get some sponges for, which I'm not going to record because, you know, I already lag enough in the oceans, and when I record as well, it's just even laggier, and yeah, I don't want it to be any more of a lag fest than it has to be, but it's flourishing. It's an amazing farm, 14 insects in about half an hour, yes! No, obviously it's not going to be very efficient right now. We're going to have to do a lot of clearing, and there's, I mean, I picked a place with not a lot of water around, at least that was the idea, but it's still a lot to clear out. I've never actually done any sort of clearing job before, so hopefully it turns out okay. I'm always scared to come up here. There's going to be a creeper waiting for me. Not used to all these mobs around. But yeah, we've got a bit of clearing to do, so I'm going to do that, and then I might even get started with the next thing on the agenda. It just depends on how this episode is going in my head. I've kind of planned it out, kind of haven't. It's all a bit up in the air at the moment. Spider, die! Okay, yep, I'm gonna clear all of this water out. It's gonna take me a while. This was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I truly underestimated the power of sponges. I am very glad I went to go get some. I was originally just going to fill it all in with sand. As you can tell, I've been very lazy. Have not taken out my sections yet, but there's still a bit of water to clear out, and I may or may not do that because, honestly, the rates have given me a big surprise. About 45 minutes ago, maybe, we had 19 ink sacs in this chest below, which I'll go and show you right now. And as you may be able to hear, maybe if I just be quiet in a second. They're not gonna... Okay, the squids are not performing. There we go. You can probably hear them dropping now. Yeah, so about 45 minutes ago we had 19 ink sacs, and now things have changed. Yeah, this is probably more ink sacs than I'll ever need. Truly, I never need them really. Only if I need some like black dye or anything, but yeah, it's doing really good. And the only thing I can think is about 45 minutes ago-ish, around that time, Jimbo left, and he, well, I know he has a guardian farm, so, or is part of his base type of thing, so I'm thinking maybe that could have been the reason. But you know, there's like still 3 other people online, and like that. Let's see how much the minecart's got at the moment. See, that's from one go around. That's so good. Yeah, so basically, I am really happy with the rates. There appears to be a giant floating rectangular block. I give up. I said to myself before I clicked the record button then that that was going to be the last time I attempted to do this clip. I probably just recorded myself saying there seems to be a giant rectangular blocks, not box. Apparently I cannot say rectangular and then box shortly after one another. So this clip is staying because I quite frankly give up. Yeah, so we've got this giant box in the sky here with a cactus farm inside. I honestly haven't checked it in a little while and I'm too lazy to fly up there and check it. We're not going to fill that up in anytime soon. I haven't long finished it, to be honest. But you may be able to see a little bit of a theme going on here with these two farms. So hopefully my plan is all, well, it seems to be going well so far. But I do need to get started on the next step. Is it safe for me to jump down? No boom booms around. I don't think anyone in the history of this game has ever called a creeper a boom boom. But maybe that's my new thing now. So we now need to start thinking about how we're going to cover up these two very, very ugly farms. I'm not just going to leave them as two massive stone brick structures. I do actually want to make this place look kind of nice, even though I technically don't really need to. There's no one really around here, and I'm like 3,000 blocks away from my base. But what's the fun in that, really? So I need to do a bit more testing in a creative world and actually come up with, you know, a solidified idea, because this isn't the type of thing, you know, how big this scale is. I can't just wing it in survival and hope it all turns out well, because things take a lot of time to, you know, build up and destroy in survival. So I'm going to do some creative world testing and see what I can come up with. I think I have an idea, though. I'm probably going to do, like, this isn't going to make sense. It makes sense to me. I'm going to do half of it, and then I'll save the other half, hint, hint, up here, for the end of the episode. That is just what we needed, a bunch more stone brick. Yeah, it's not done. As you can tell, I've still got some. Oh! Oh god, oh god, oh god, that was nearly my first death. That was close. I wanted to see how much. Ooh, I'm a little shook up there. Yeah, we'll check later. There was a frame in there I can go back after I've done with this clip and see how much cactus I had. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a little progress update on how this thing is doing. It's obviously, yep, a lot of grey, and there's going to be more grey. This base thing is very grey, but I'm hoping I make up for it on the what's going to cover up this thing. But yeah, I've got a lot of like terraforming and a bit of landscaping to do, as you can tell, but I've done that enough times it shouldn't be any worries. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a little progress update, because I don't often do that. I have a bad habit of just finishing a build and then showing you it. So there you go, there's a bunch of grey blocks for you to look at. And there we go, that is looking slightly better. Still very heavy on the grey, but it looks good. I mean, that's basically how most things go in this game. You try and make something look good, you're gonna spice up your block palette, and then you just resort back to stone brick. But yeah, it looks okay. It's an improvement to what we had before, just the grey blob. So yeah, this is this thing done. I don't really want to say what it is because it'll give it away, even though I'm sure I've got whatever this thing up here is going to be in the thumbnail, because if it turns out how I think it will, it might be a little bit epic. Maybe just a little bit. But yeah, this is the outside done. I'm going to take this off, as I always do. And yeah, so I'm thinking we need to get started on the inside, because I'm going to hide some things in here. So the way I'm going to go about that is by maybe just perhaps placing this button here for no apparent reason, and then running into these stairs. And oh, would you look at that? We are in a complete room. That definitely wasn't just something I did. Yeah, so we've got some flower farms here for the two high flowers things on either side, so we can get some dyes. I can't remember if I've explained what I'm doing with this place. I'm recording this episode over several days, as I usually do. Pretty much this is my center of all the dyes, and well, the ones that are farmable at least, apart from bone meal. So we've got the cactus in here, still filling up slowly. This is where I'm storing all the squid inks, and yeah, the two high flowers, so yellow, I think that's pink maybe it gives you, or magenta, something like that, and then red of course, and then we can combine some to get others. And obviously there's some like blue, like we can't farm lapis or anything like that, and unfortunately there isn't a skeleton spawn around here, so we can't farm bone meal, but yeah, I'm farming the ones that I can. I basically just wanted to build a squid farm and yeah, decided to make an entire thing about it. But if we go down here, there's just a little cocoa bean farm, which is ready for a harvest. Wow, that is kind of hurts my eyes, not gonna lie. Yeah, nothing special down there really. It's like two different block styles or two different blocks I used to make that room. But yeah, this is the inside done, and all the farms are up and running now. We just need to get working on this ginormous thing up in the sky. That thing right there. I don't think I've seen this tunnel before. I wonder whose it is. Where does it go? Let me just move my mouse about an inch. Wrong direction. This way. Oh, would you look at that? It's my dye farm. Yeah, so I've gone ahead and done the tunnel, but I just quickly want to show you this. I nabbed this idea from Carl on the server, Carl Rides. We have a data pack or some magic, I think from Winter, where we can make armor stands invisible and make them small. You've all seen it before. I've shown it in all of my videos, you know, with our tiny little minions we have at the base. But you can actually make them invisible and not affected by gravity. So Carl had the idea of, you know, sticking one here, giving it a name of where the tunnel leads, and then putting a sea lantern here in an item frame to make it look like a projector. And I just think that is a really, really cool little thing, and just a creative way to show where your tunnel goes without just slapping a sign on the thing. I've also put it on my base one over there. Not that much of a way for me to go if I want to go between dye farm and base. But yeah, anyway, I just want to show you this tunnel quickly because I've been doing some work. Okay, we're spinning apparently. Yeah, it's very colourful, so mind your eyes maybe. Yeah, it's a bit crazy to go through. Very, very crazy. We've got magenta, red. Oh, also hit your head on the way out, which isn't the best, but eh. We've got magenta, yellow, red, and pink, the 4 colours of the 2 high flowers, which, yeah, it's really nice and colourful, and I do like building in concrete because you can't do it that often, so I sort of try to whenever I get the chance, because they're very artificial looking, which doesn't really work with a lot of things in this game, but when you're doing something like a tunnel, you can just have... You can have a bunch of fun with it and not really care how realistic it looks or anything like that. So, yeah, concrete for the win or something. But yeah, I've been doing some work on the other side of this portal, so let's head on through.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
So there we have it, the rocket, the thing that's covering up the cactus farm. There's some things I really like about it, and some things that I really don't like about it. I mean, I don't hate it, I enjoy looking at it, but there's a couple things that I wish I changed in the designing process, such as there's a bit too much detail going on, and if you look at rockets, they tend to be very sort of plain, and I've got a bit too much lineage and too many blocks going on, and it looks a little weird if you look at it from certain angles, but for the most part it's actually pretty good. There was a couple of things I wanted to change. Oh yeah, the width, the width, the width also, or no, what? There was something else wrong with it, I can't remember. Oh yeah, the flame down here got really close to the ground because I built the cactus farm too low. I don't know what happened, my calculations were just thrown off somehow, and yeah, so the flame isn't as long and glorious as I was first hoping, but that is something that I really do like about it. This colourful plume of majestic fire or something like that. I don't think plume's actually the correct word, but it's a bunch of glass and it's very laggy when you look up. Oh, maybe not in this camera account, but in my actual account it gets really laggy when I look up because of all the layers and glass and stuff. But yeah, oh, the sun's setting too. How fabulous. So yeah, there we go. The rocket and the launch pad Oh yeah, that was another thing that I wanted to say, which is the best way to show this. There we go. I know it wouldn't actually be able to land, like the rocket doesn't even fit in the launch pad. I mean here it's kind of fine with this bit right here. So we're just going to pretend that the wings, or whatever these things would be called, are just going to be retractable. So when it comes in for a landing, they go inwards and it fits, or something like that. Sadly, the control room doesn't really have that good of a view of the rocket. I mean, you can see the bottom bit of it, which I guess is the most important part. You can see it take off, but only about half of it. And I could get rid of this dirt at the top, I know, but then you'd be able to see the white concrete from the outside, and it just, yeah, it looks a little weird, and it looks better when I encase it in dirt. So yeah, control room. Got some beds here just in case it is nighttime when me or someone else arrives and they don't have to go out there and fight all the mobs off, because I have not done any lighting up whatsoever, so it can get pretty dangerous. But yeah, go out that door and then it's just a straight shot to the button on the floor, and then you press it and, you know, through the stairs as I showed earlier. Yeah, see what I mean? It would look pretty horrendous if there was just a white line there. That would very obviously stand out. And then just back in, back up, and get stuck apparently. But yeah, that's the rocket, that's the dive farm, all complete. I guess, yeah, no, it is complete. I don't know what I was really going to say there. But there is one thing that I want to do just before we end off today's episode, so we need to head over to the embassy area. Slowly but surely we are stocking our 4-in-1 store, currently 3 out of the 4 stocks in store. I haven't actually checked this in a little while, so how are we doing? Do I need to come back and restock? I think so. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, we still have some, so it's not an urgency, but I probably should get to that at some point. Not doing bad at all. But the dies are up here, so I haven't gone too crazy on them. I've only got 6 stacks of each. Several reasons for that. One of them is it's very expensive. It's a lot more expensive than I would imagine. Some of them aren't too bad, like the rose red and the yellow and cocoa beans are fine. But there's others like lapis, and I have this weird obsession with lapis. I really like collecting it and just kind of having it. I never use it at all. Like, I have so much. I have a huge abundance, but it's, I don't know, it's just a weird obsession. I really like having lapis. I just have always liked the ore, like the block, like the, I guess just the lapis, I don't know. But a lot of these dyes take blue dye, which is really quite frustrating, because I used up probably like a stack and a half of blocks doing all of these, because, yeah, lots of dyes. As far as the pricing goes, I've said, ooh, too close, a diamond per stack. One reason because of the lapis, and 2, I didn't want to undercut Magoo and Carlock, who are selling ink sacks for a diamond a stack at their shop. So yeah, if it's not selling, then I'll probably bump it up to 1 diamond for 2 stacks and then exclude the ink sacks and the lapis, just because, you know, expensive and undercutting situations, don't want to do that. Not that I have 6 stacks, they probably have like 1,200 choker boxes full of them. But yeah, that's the dye section of this store. We've got one more corner to fill out, which we will get to when I farm something in huge abundance, which I actually have an idea for next episode. I just got to do some planning, and hopefully I can come up with something, and then yeah, we should be able to fully stock the 4-in-1 store. I can feel my throat dropping off. You guys can probably hear it too. I need to get going, so let's have a fly around and end off this episode. Am I going to set sail? Set sail, that is. Take flight. That's not quite the same. But yeah, guys, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this episode. I hope you liked the rocket and the colourful rocket flames and stuff. Yeah, thank you guys ever so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.